So today class we'll learn how to configure the interfaces. You can start recording, brother Alim. If you want to record the video, you can record.
सलीम भाई आप भी
Or
रिकॉर्ड कर
later
दो
you
यार.
can.
Okay. I think it's already
So
restarted, right?
you see here in last classes we learned introduction to networking, introduction to router, and introduction to IP address, and modes of the router. That's it. Like you know how to go from one mode to another mode. Today class we'll try to learn interface configuration. Interface configuration of the router. So actually the routers commonly they have two types of interfaces. We have a physical interface. We have a physical interface. Then we have a logical interface. So when you are going for the physical interfaces or physical interface, there are two types of physical interfaces a router can contain. The physical interfaces are of two types, such as we can say we have a fast Ethernet, and again we have a serial. We have the fast Ethernet and serial. They are the physical interfaces of the router. When you are going for the logical interfaces, the device, we create three types of logical interfaces normally. We have something called like a loopback. Then we have a tunnel. And again, we have a multi-link, Sometimes we can have the one interface, we can make them into multiple interfaces. As sub-interfaces, like we can have many. Commonly, router has two types of interfaces, physical and logical. So the physical interfaces are the fast Ethernet and the serial. So when you're going for like a fast Ethernets are used mostly, it's used to connect LAN in traditional network. Whereas the serial interface on the router, it is used to connect WAN. That's from router to router. If you want to connect from one site to another site, if you want to connect, you use serial. Fast Ethernet is used to connect our LAN. Take for example, you have a network. What is a network, sir? Network is an interconnection of devices. So I have a switch. The switch is connected to like multiple computers. So we have some switches types, X layer, distribution at the core. On the core, switches are connected to the device called firewall, and firewall is connected to a router. So all those are the LAN components. All those are the LAN components. So I am going to connect a device called router. So my LAN is connected to the router on the interface of fast Ethernet. Sometimes we may have a gigabit Ethernet. We have the gigabit Ethernet. And I'm saying this network is there of router 1, it is there in Hyderabad. Also, we have another branch. It is there in another location. So take for example, this is your Hyderabad router and this is your US router. So this is my LAN, so the LAN always is connected to the fast Ethernet or gigabit Ethernet. Router to routers, we have a separate port called serial. And we connect router 1 to router 2, router 2 to router 1 by using the port called serial. Serials are used to connect WAN. We used to connect country to country. And when you create the logical interfaces on the device, we create a loopbacks. Loopbacks are created for testing purpose. We create a loopbacks actually. Loopbacks are created for the same purpose. We created tunnels. Tunnels actually is used for VPN. When you are going to work with the VPNs, actually we can use multi-link. Multi-link, what does it do? Multi-link actually it combines multiple WAN links. Okay, let me explain you this. So from Hyderabad to USA, if you have only one network, one WAN connection, this WAN connection is disconnected, they cannot communicate. So I'm going to take one more WAN connection. So sometimes there is a time that you can combine these two WAN connections as one. For that purpose, we use multi-link. So multi-link combines multiple WAN connections, and both links can be utilized at the same time. If you configure multi-link, I can use both links at a time. You know, if you don't configure multi-link, even though if you have two connections, it will use only one link only. Now, when you are going for the sub-interface concepts, like I have a gigabit Ethernet is there, the LAN port. In your network, will be having like so many, you have like so many departments and so many networks are there. I can make the LAN interface shortcut is giga. Say for example, it is 0 by 0. A department of first department, it's a 10. I can make like VLAN 10. That's called VLANs actually. You'll be learning soon, don't worry. So we have like a giga 0 by 0, gigabit 0 by 0 by 0 dot 10, gigabit 0 by 0 dot 20, we have like so take for example, I have 4 departments are there. I have giga 000 dot 30, again giga 000 dot 40. Matlab, what did you understand here? One interface, you make them into multiple interfaces. This is what we call it as a sub-interfaces actually. You see these concepts of configuring sub-interfaces in firewalls, load balancers, based on your requirement, based on the network type. If you want, we can do that. So sub-interfaces are used. We are going to convert the physical interfaces, converting physical interface into multiple interfaces. Yeah, that is called sub-interfaces. Loopbacks, when I said like we create for testing purpose, to reach that from one Hyderabad network to reach to the LAN network of US, instead of the LAN, you can create loopbacks. And in the ccnp level, you will see later, when you are working with routing protocols, we can make some routers between router to make neighbors. You use loopback because loopback interface always will be up. Okay, always will be up. So I'm sure that Naeem and Alimbai, you installed the Cisco packet tracer.
Yes, bhai.
So you can do one thing. You can run the Cisco packet tracer now. I'm going to show you like how LAN is connected. In the first half an hour, you should know how to configure these interfaces. So I'm going to take a one switch here. Let's take one small network. I'm taking one router here. You can just take 3 pieces. One switch connecting 3 pieces. So we have a connections. We need to connect the third one, which is your copper straight cable. Connect PC1 to the switch, port number 1. Second one to the second, third one to third. Then you see here, okay, if you click on the router, anyone, we have a gigabit Ethernet 000 and connect that to the router gigabit. So if you don't get this port number, I told you have to go to options, preferences. You have to select this option here. You see here, it's not selected. If you click always show port label, the port label comes up. Very good. To connect router to router, as I told you, we use serial. So this router, we didn't add serial. We can, there is a power button here. Just click on off, then add, drag and drop our the serial interfaces, and then start power on. Then again, we have one more router here. We have one switch, and we are going to take some 3 pieces again. Connect the switch. Sorry, connect the PC to the switch. PC to the switch. Connect the Giga 00. As I told you, you have to click, one click, turn off, add the serial parts, then turn on. So gigabit Ethernet 00 is used to connect LAN. So what does it require? It requires some IP address. So I design that I'm giving 192.168.1.254. This is, I will use class B 172.16.0.254. This is 192.1.254. This is 172. Take Giga 01/0, connect into 01/0. So there are ports are being connected. For this, I'll give 11.0.0.1. And for this, I give 11.0.0.2. Okay. This interface is 11.0.0.1. That's a serial. This is 11.0.0.2, 11.0.0.2, 11.0.0.1. Okay. This is when you click place note. If I click place note, I can click place note. This is we require these 3 actually. This is delete option. Maybe if I want to click there, I can delete it. By mistake, I deleted. I can give Control Z. Select this option. So drag and drop. So for this computer, I will give the IP 192.168.1.1. No, if you are not understanding, you should ask me, brother. If you don't name, yeah?
Yeah.
So this should be 192.168.1.2. This is 192.168.1.2. This is 172.16.0.1, class B. This is 172.16.0.2. Again, this is 172.16.0.3. Okay. So these are the IP addresses. We need to configure them. For computer, take PC1, desktop, which is 192.168.1.1. Default gateway always will be your exit point of your network. Here our exit point is router, but in your real time, the exit point will be your firewall. Or maybe if you have a layer 3 switch, it could be a layer 3 switch. The core switches IP addresses also can be, we assign them actually. So here it is 192.168.1.254. So gateway, default gateway is not required that always be a router IP. No. You may have a firewall. If not firewall, you have a core switch or in the distribution switch. In the distribution switch also we can have the IP addresses. So that IP address will work as a gateway for the computers actually. So when somebody asks you, what is the default gateway? Default gateway is the exit and the entry point of the network. What is the default gateway name, brother?
Exit or entry point of the network.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, name by.
Yes.
What is the default gateway?
Exit or entry point of the network.
So what is the default gateway for your company or your network?
192.168.1.2.
Why so? No, yeah, what it is like? I mean, it is in a firewall
It's a
or it's in
firewall.
a
Firewall.
firewall.
Last time was a
So,
router. The company
hmm,
provided router.
hmm.
Then
So it is the exit and entry of the network. Yes. So here that router is connected to a switch. Switch is connected to PCs, or maybe the router is directly connecting to your computer. So that should have an IP address. You know. So always the LAN in the LAN network you'll have only private IP. And
I have a
already you know,
question.
yes.
The router have two IP. This part is always like 192.168.1.254, right? The router one.
Hmm.
And also here 11.0.0.1. So one
Yeah,
device
the
have one
having
IP. One device one IP. No?
is a serial IP address. That will not work as a gateway for 192.168.1.1. No.
Hmm.
That is the WAN link. That is the WAN network.
Hmm.
This is our LAN. This is our LAN network. Okay, this is our LAN. So all the computers which are there in the LAN, 192.168.1.254 only will work as a gateway.
Hmm.
And also I will tell you one clue. If your computers are in 192.168, 1.1, 1.2, your gateway also should be in the same network.
Yeah.
Yes. So it cannot be different. Maybe if you think if I give the gateway is 20.13.2, for example. Now, even though if I assign the IP of this, our networks, our computers cannot ping to the router cannot ping to the PC,
Yeah.
because these are three different networks. Otherwise, you require routing again.
Hmm. So in my
Always,
case, what should my serial, my firewall default gateway is 192.168.1.2. So if I want
yes.
to connect to another company router,
Hmm.
so how is it possible with my
Now you need to
firewall?
have a router. You need to have a router better.
In my
In
firewall?
another, yeah, above the firewall, you need to have a router,
Hmm.
and the router will be connected to your the WAN service provider.
Hmm.
Also, you'll have another branch. You'll be
Hmm.
having a router that also will be connected to his WAN service provider, and we buy that public IP from the service provider. Then once you assign the IP for our router for the serial,
So
once you
this,
assign the IP address,
so this one we
either
call serial IP.
yeah, serials actually it is used for point-to-point network, point-to-point connection actually.
Okay.
You know, once you assign that point, because your WAN networks, it can be point-to-point.
Hmm.
It can be point to multi-point. Like there are many types of WAN networks are there.
Hmm.
We'll discuss these things later after routing.
Okay.
But now it is like lease line, brother. Okay.
Hmm.
So for the second computer also we need to assign the IP. It is 192.168.1.2. Gateway is 192.168.1.254. This is 192.168.1.3. 192.168.1.254. This is in 172. 172.16.0.1. 172.16.0.254. This is 172.16.0.2. 172.16.0.254. Next one is 172.16.0.3. 172.16.0.25. So very good that you assign the IPs for the LAN. Let's go back to the router. So when you get, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? You need to type no. We are in router greater than user level mode. To go to privilege mode, enable. To go to configuration mode, config T. Let me give the host name as R1. So I'm in router 1. So gigabit, GIG, giga is an interface name, and that the interface will have a port number. It is 000. So I need to type interface giga, just I said G. That is a type of the interface. So it is 0 by 0 by 0. It is a port which I connected. And you know, we are in interface mode. So to assign the IP address, the command is IP address. What is 192.168.1.254? It is class C, IP address space. Then 192.168.1.254. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And I must give the command no shutdown. Then net, that's it. You see here? It's after, okay. First of all, I need to go to the interface name. I need to type IP address and subnet mask. I must give the no shutdown. Once you give the no shutdown, then the interface change state up. You see here, the change state up is coming up. Means what? See, for example, I have a door. If I close the door, no air can come inside, no air can go outside. If I close the door, my house door, the airflow will happen. No shutdown. The door is open means no shutdown. It's open. In the same manner, when you give the command no shutdown on the interface, the packet flow will happen. IP packet, the network packets can send and receive. If the interface is shut down, you see here, it will be in the red color like this. So the real device actually, when you observe on that particular port on the router, then it starts blinking. Okay. Now all our computers are connected to your firewall. When the user started sending and receiving data, always the port is active. So the green light will be on. Now it will be flickering. Okay. This is just configuring the LAN. Oh, sorry. Is how to configure LAN or gigabit Ethernet. So let it be like small letter. You know, can see this and we can do later. Now I want to configure the serial. What is a serial? It's a WAN. So here, now see, for example, in configuration mode, I give AND. Now here in privilege mode, maybe the console is got something. It's translating to giga 000. It's trying to translate this particular command by domain name server. It's trying to identify this host name. So it's not available. So to stop this, I can give Control Shift 6. Control Shift 6. I can go to the command mode. No IP domain lookup. What is the command? No IP domain lookup. I say the domain, don't look up any type of translation of my device. Actually, the lookup will be the best. This command, just note it down somewhere. When I give the command no IP domain lookup, then what happens here, you see? If I'm going for in privilege mode, do you have this command? No. If I type this, actually the DNS, the domain, first you will try to look up this command, finding the host name. So you get like this. So it takes more time. It's trying to send to the DNS server, it takes more time. If you give enter, you see unknown command, directly it gives the message.
Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah. By default, on the router, we have a IP domain lookup is enabled.
Okay.
By this, what do you mean by this? Means now we have like we have NABLE is the command, yes?
Yes.
Do you have this command?
No.
Now when you type a wrong command, Since IP domain lookup is enabled, it will try to translate this command.
Okay.
If it's trying to translating this command by DNS server. Means we have to wait. I give enter. You see,
Mhm.
I know it is wrong. I have to wait. In the real time, maybe we need to do some quickly. Some routers, if I give Control+Shift+6, it will not stop, brother. But some versions, older editions like 2600 routers will stop. So I want to stop that to lookup. On 50, no IP domain, DOMAIN, no IP domain lookup. Now, the same command, if I see, you say like enable, I type enable. You see the time is, it's not run, we stopped the domain lookup as well. We stopped the DNS and the router. So it is not trying to translate this name. Okay, this is not our thing. So, okay, let us go to config now. No, we need to know how to configure the serial. Can you tell me how to configure the LAN? What is the commands to configure the LAN or the fast Ethernet? I think Alim Bhai is there or only recording today also? He's busy.
Oh, Limba here.
Alim Bhai is there, yeah.
Hmm.
So please tell me, both of you, how to configure the LAN, how to configure the Ethernet interface.
We just now we do through interface, right?
I want you to know. I want you to remember these things. Yeah. Interface giga 000.
This one is for router.
Yes, I'm asking for the router. For the router, how to configure the LAN interface?
Interface G0 by 0 by 0. Then IP address. Then 192.168.1.254. Then subnet mask. Then no shutdown.
Shutdown. Very good. Same manner, if you want to configure serial, interface serial 0 by 1 by 0. That's my serial number. Interface serial 0 1 by 0. So IP address, it is 11.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. Same IP address, IP and subnet mask. Then you must give the command no shutdown. After giving that, we have to give encapsulation SDLC. So interface serial 0001 by 0, the interface name, IP address, IP and subnet mask, no shutdown is mandatory. You know after this. For serial, you need to find the encapsulation SDLC. So encapsulation is an WAN protocol. A protocol is a set of rules to communicate on the network. So between two routers, if they want to communicate, you must define the encapsulation. Encapsulation is a WAN protocol. Between Cisco routers, we need to use SDLC. If non-Cisco devices are there, we use PPP. But both sides must be same protocol should be used. Means in the router 1, I use SDLC. Router 2 also I must use SDLC only. Commonly, you see nowadays, you don't find only Cisco devices everywhere. Now you are in Singapore. Singapore, they may have some other service provider router. Alim Bhai is there in US. We have like Microtech. I'm there in here. I have like a Aruba. So they use PPP, point-to-point protocol. Instead of SDLC, they use PPP. Let me use PPP. So it will override, okay? Then I need to define something called clock rate 64,000. Clock rate actually it is the WAN speed. One is WAN protocol, another one is WAN speed. So in the clock rate, if I give question mark, choose clock rate from the list above. That is the circuit, the port, the circuit. how much speed that it can send in second. The speed of the circuit you are going to determine. We can give up to like something like any 40 lakhs, like 4 Gbps we can make. I don't know. I need to convert this into, it is in kbps, bits per second. Bits into MB. Is that like that? It's maybe kbps, kilobits per second. $500 MB. Okay. Choose a clock rate from the list above. Bits per second, kbps. So anyway, it's the interface. The interface, the circuit speed. But you see here, okay, let me define this. Clock rate 64,000. That is the standard that we use. Then I give N. Interface serial 01/0, IP address, no shutdown. Then we need to find the encapsulation. SD, I think we are using PPP. You can use PPP. Then clock rate 64,000. You can define higher one, okay? Then we need to give the end. We need to give the end command. The same thing, I must do it in router 2 also. But before doing that, like how to configure WAN, so how to configure WAN link. We can see this and we can do. I'm going for this PC for testing purpose, command prompt, ping 192.168.1.254. So I'm going to get reply. Packet sent 4, received 4, loss 0, 100% is successful. So if I'm going for the router in privilege mode, ping 192.168.1.1, success rate is 100%. Out of 5 are success. Round trip in millisecond, in min, it's taking 0, average. 2000 millisecond, I mean 1000 millisecond is one second. So it is taking like in 0 milliseconds to transfer the data. Likewise, I need to configure router 2 also now. You see, I'm going for CLI. Would you like to enter the initial configuration? No. Type no. Config key. I give the host name R2. Host name R2. Yes or no? So I need to configure the LAN. So interface giga 0/0/0. Its IP address is 172.16.0.254. When we do our labs only, you will remember this. Yeah. Interface giga 0/0/0. IP address 172.16.0.254. 255.255.00. After that, you must give the command no shutdown. Link is up. Then I can give exit. So I'm going for interface serial 0/1/0, which is connected to the WAN. Then its IP address is 11.002.255.0.0.0. You see, I didn't give no shutdown. The link still it is in the circuit, you see, it is red color. I can give like no shutdown. No shut. No SH. All are same. Shortcut. See, once I give no shutdown, The link is up. Encapsulation. PPP. By default, there, Cisco Packet Tracer, SDLC is enabled. But you need to define PPP. And then only the change setup came up. So here you cannot give clock rate, okay? I'll tell you in the next video. We have see a clock rate. If I try to give you in another side, it says this command applies only on DCE. So you need to understand like what is a DCE and what is DTE. Just a click enter and I'm going to explain it this way. I don't have the license. It will be disconnected. Again, we will join back, okay?
Okay.
Because I make also, I keep that idea that every 40 seconds, one concept, like 1 hour, one small concept that you can be covered up. That's my idea. So this is how we configure the interfaces. So in the router 1, you configure the LAN as well as WAN. And I can verify here from router, this particular router 2, I want to ping router 1 IP, which is 11.0.0.1. You see, I get reply. Try to ping 11.0.0.1, I get reply. I am this in this PC. If I'm trying to ping to other side, which is 172.16.0.1, I cannot get reply. So you require something called routing. You see here, 172.16.0.1, I say, it says request timed out. Business post unreachable you will get. These two branches, they